What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video, and this time we are taking a break from the Quiet on Set series. Your girl is pretty much on empty. I'm burnt out, so that is why you are not seeing me today. I do apologize. However, today we are going to take a look into Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendez. You know, they have a very private relationship, which is probably a good thing. It's kind of giving me already Zendaya and Tom Holland vibes. I feel like they might be prioritizing their well-being over Hollyweird. But as always, this is all alleged and for entertainment, besties. Oh my God, Mercury's killing me, y'all. I'm so sorry. The brain fog is real. Let's see. So, shit's already starting to come in. I feel like they fight. Like, I feel like they bicker. I don't know what that's about, but I'm seeing them argue. But anyways, if you guys would like to book a private reading with me, the link is in the description box below. It will take up to 3 weeks, so please be patient with me. You guys want a good energy reading, not one like this where my energy is all over the place. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. If you ever want to know what decks I'm using, links are down below. But without further ado, besties, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. But let's do a lighthearted Friday video and take a look at Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendez, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Let's get into it. Oh, that's a wonderful start. Timing. Why? Dose of realism. Why am I hearing the song? Work, 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 work. All right. So I do agree with the fact that they want to keep their relationship private because they don't want it ruined. With this 7 of Cups, I'm being highly drawn to the apple. And think about the industry, right? Like, it looks like it's good, but it's rotten inside the more you get into it. So I do believe that there's something going on here where, like, I think in the beginning of the relationship, it was like a chance opportunity. I don't really know what their story is. Did they meet on like a movie or something? Because this reads like that. Like, we met, it was a chance meeting. And we just knew right away. It's just like I could feel the sexual tension. I could feel the intimacy. I could feel the chemistry. It's just like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song by Taylor Swift, You Belong With Me. So I feel like one of them kind of like zeroed in on the other and was like, you're mine. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And it almost kind of feels like it might be coming from Eva. But I also think, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, that they do have a struggle with, yeah, remember how I saw them fighting? I feel like they have a hard time, because they're both water signs. I looked it up, Scorpio and Pisces. Ryan's going to be stubborn. He's a Scorpio. Eva is going to be wishy-washy. She's a Pisces. And I'm not, you know, if the shoe fits, bro, yell at me in the comments. I don't care. But I feel like they bump heads a lot because they're both emotional creatures. I don't see anything wrong with that necessarily, though, because the King of Swords is upright. So I do feel like they are, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, Can We Just Talk Before We Get Lost? So I do think they get swept up in their emotions and they get stubborn, but then it dies off and then they work things through. So I think that's part of the reason why they're not in the spotlight. First of all, I think they don't want to be involved with Hollyweird bullshit. They're giving me Joe Alwyn energy, where it's just like, I'm going to work, make my money, get out. I'm not really all that interested in the publicity. I also do agree, because I did see when I was Googling their zodiacs, something about them wanting to keep their kids out of the spotlight. I agree with that. I do feel that they know that the industry's corrupt and they're good parents. They don't want to do that to their kids. It's actually kind of nice seeing this for once. Because it's just like we're being realistic about our expectations. We're being realistic about what happens with work. It's like we have agreements about things. I almost wonder if, like, who's holding who back in work? Is Ryan, like, it almost feels like Ava's taken a back step, like a back seat. Sorry, my bad. Mercury retrograding all over my communication. It almost feels like Ava took a back step for Ryan to start winning. So is this about the Barbie movie? Because that could be it too. It could really just be that simple. But there is something here about like letting Ryan take the lead right now because maybe he's not feeling so good with that King of Pentacles in the reverse. It kind of just feels like was this like a return after he's been gone for a while, or maybe he just haven't had any hits in a while, because it just feels like maybe he was struggling with his identity or just money in general, because I just see him being like, I need to get back into the spotlight. I need to be seen again. But yeah, right now this is a very basic reading. Honestly, this feels like reading a client. This isn't so bad yet. I don't want to jinx it. Knight of Coins in reverse, the Sun. Yeah, I feel like they're healthy. I feel like they know when something's not worth fighting for. I do think they have heated arguments just because with all that water, I'm feeling a lot of passion between both of them. They give me like regular white picket fence family. Like if Taylor could have got her shit together with Joe Alwyn, or if Ariana could have got her shit together with Dalton. Like this is how this energy feels. With that Knight of Coins in the reverse followed by the Sun, it's like I'm not willing to compromise our happiness. Like how can we, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, Why Don't You Just Meet Me in the Middle? Oh my God, it says compromise on the card. Look, literally. I feel like they bicker a lot because they're both emotionally, they're both driven by their emotions. Are we shocked? Scorpio and Pisces driven by their emotions? Not shocked. So I feel like just as hard as they love, they can argue, but I feel like they're quick to realize that it's not worth it. So I do think that's part of why they keep themselves out of the spotlight. They have energy of like Joe Alwyn. It's just like, I want to make my check and move on with my life. I don't feel like Ryan or Ava feel like they have anything to prove. It feels like both of them have a pretty solid sense of self, which is actually shocking. I never see that when I do these celebrity readings. But with that Knight of Coins in reverse, that just gives me like not worth fighting for energy. With the Five of Swords, which is a conflict card, and the Sun being happiness in the middle, it's just like we're going to prioritize. It's just like they don't hold on to little shit. Does that make sense? It's like this is a healthy relationship so far, unless the cards switch up on me. But this gives me the type of relationship where we're both passionate people. And sometimes, yeah, our energies clash, but instead of acting out, cheating, doing dumb shit, ghosting, being emotionally avoidant, being a fuck boy, fuck girl. No, these are people that probably bicker, yell at each other, take time apart. Yeah, because I'm seeing like a boxing match where it's like you go at each other, but then it's like you shake hands at the end. I just feel like they're healthy. They understand that part of a relationship means work, and it also means communication, and we're not always going to agree. And so when we argue, we realize that we don't need to go for the jugular. Yeah, because I'm being drawn to the Brene Brown interview. It's not an interview. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary or whatever. It's like a TED Talk. But she says that she realized on her camping trip or whatever, long story short, that we have a tendency in society to weaponize the vulnerabilities of the people that we love. And she realized on a vacation that that's what they did. And so I feel like Ava and Ryan both have this emotional intelligence where it's like, we're not going to aim for the jugular. We're not going to go low. We're not going to hurt one another. We're going to have emotions. We're human. We're people. We're obviously going to clash. But at the end of the day, like, how do we work it out? Because we're just emotional people. I feel like they argue, they talk it out, and they work through it. This feels healthy. I don't want to jinx it. Have we found our second healthy celebrity couple? Yeah, that Five of Wands. It's like, I know when to call it quits, and not like relationship wise. And look how this dude kind of looks like Ryan Gosling a little bit. Not really, but it's just kind of giving me the vibe of like, when tensions arise, I feel like they both, remember how I was saying I saw boxing, and it reminded me of how they like bump the, whatever the hell they're called. I'm sorry. Punching. It is so hard to think when you're channeling. Oh my God. Anyway, but that's how you know I'm not making shit up, I guess. With that intuition card, it's like, we know when to put the swords down. We know when enough is enough. We know when to comment. This just feels like a healthy couple. Honestly, I wish I saw more of this. Yeah, I think the only real issue in the relationship is like a finding a healthy balance of like who gets to be in the spotlight and when. Because it's like I'm being drawn to how like Ava was having 2 kids, and like Ryan was like, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gotten this far. I agree. So I think they try to find a balance of like no one really gets looked over. I feel like they're healthy. Like I keep saying they're healthy because I feel it. With that Page of Swords, it's like we communicate. But Death in Reverse and Ten of Swords. What's not changing? Uh-oh. Have I spoken too soon? I think the only real hiccup and issues that they have is finances, like anybody else. I think one of them, but it almost kind of feels like both, where maybe they go through moments where they don't want to do Holly weird anymore, but then they do, but then they do. Because I see like a back and forth bickering where it's like sometimes I want something new, but sometimes I don't even know how to vocalize it, and I don't even know where to put that passion with the Page of Wands in reverse. It's like, when do you walk away is kind of the question that I see in this. It's like, I almost wonder if, yeah, because it's giving me the vibe of like, when do we retire? When is it appropriate for us to kind of give up what we're doing and kind of focus more on our children and having a quiet lifestyle? I think they have a battle back and forth where it's like, I love being someone that's admired. I love being in the spotlight, but it's kind of giving me like, I wouldn't be shocked if in the next few years, like, Ava slows down and she does more like, I don't know, like mommy blogging shit or something like that. Because I see something here where it's like we're resisting a change that needs to happen because we're feeling it emotionally, we're feeling it spiritually. It's giving me the vibe of like, when you hold on to a relationship that's already past its expiration date, but think of it more like a chapter in our life. With that Ten of Swords right here, it's like endings that we're refusing to adapt to with that Death card being reversed, and the Eight of Cups right next to it. It's like, we don't want to walk away. I think they have nostalgia towards their past. It just, it reads to me like, I don't know, how old are they? Like their 40s or something? It just kind of feels like we're getting older now. We need to, prepare for that stage of our life. It's very mature. Like, I know that sounds so simple, but I'm just so not used to mature people when we do these readings. For me, this just kind of feels like getting my finances in order, finally kind of getting to that age where maybe I need to think about, it kind of just almost feels like they're fading out. Like that's the only way I know how to describe this energy. It feels like they're fading out of the industry. It's like we don't prioritize that. It doesn't matter to them in the way that we've been reading all these other celebrities. It just doesn't, it's more like, yeah, because I'm hearing, but it's over now, go out and take a bow. But it's not giving me the energy of that song, which is like cheating or being used. It's giving me more like the curtains closing, like we're retiring. Like that's the energy. It's like, I think that's also another reason why they're not in the spotlight so much. I don't think they give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they care to impress anybody. I do think they like to kind of like, it kind of gives me Doja Cat trolling energy. It's like we also like that we don't give everybody our business because then it makes them more curious about us. You know what I mean? Like, when you tell everybody your business, they don't find you interesting. In fact, you're probably trauma dumping and shit like that when you tell people too much. They give me like, I want to keep you like held on. I feel like that's part of it, but it's not the main reason they do this. It's just like, yeah, they just don't care. I just keep seeing Joe Alwyn in my mind's eye. It's like, let me get my bag and move on. Like, that's really the vibe. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. So I think this is giving me more a story of Ava. I feel like she's the one that might feel like it's time for her to, curtain close. I feel like she's starting to feel old, for lack of a better word, though I don't agree. Age is a number, though, quiet on set. I disagree with age is just a number, but I'm saying like your soul speaks more to your age than your age does. But with that Nine of Cups in the reverse, Queen of Coins, Hierophant, I do feel, and especially with the Six of Cups, I do feel like she's looking back on things like kind of nostalgic-y, but more just like, this feels like a coming of age movie. Kind of reminds me of that, where it's like, yeah, because I'm being drawn to the scene from the movie Someone Great on Netflix, rom-com, highly, highly recommend, where she's 29 years old and her friend calls her out and she's like, why don't you want to do this? And she's like, because I'd have to change everything. I'd have to change everything. So I feel like Ava's just kind of having a little bit of an identity crisis, because with that Six of Swords, it's like we're transitioning. Like, now we got kids. Now we have a family. Now we have something to build on, where, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, that's something to be proud of. That's a life you could lay your hat on. This just feels like more of an identity crisis. I went from being an A-list actress to a wife and kids, the wife and kids, whatever I'm having trouble, y'all. Sorry. But I just feel like she's just grieving who she used to be. I think because people become A-listers and they get so high up on that, they kind of correlate their identity with it. And when they lose it, which we see, they kind of spiral out of control. And so I think because Ava's got her head on straight more than most of the people that I read, it's more of like a grieving thing for her. I think she looks back on old pictures, old movies, old stuff like that. And it's like, what I gave up for my family, what I gave up for, you know what I mean? It's like I had to take an L on some. I think there's been offers that she's turned down because, had to raise the kids. I think she looks back on it and it's like, what if? I think she has a lot of those moments, but I don't think it's too much regret. It's more like a bittersweet energy. It's like life, like sometimes you have to let go of things that you care about in order to get things that matter more. It's a coming of age would be the way that I describe this. And I feel like Ava's just kind of at a place where she's like, I've learned a lot. I've lost a lot. I love who I have and where I'm at today. I'm not ungrateful for what I have, but I do think she looks back like, does she have air placements? Because this kind of gives me like overanalyzing things a little bit, where it's like, it's giving me mutable energy. Oh, she's a fucking Pisces, duh. But it's also giving me air energy. So I don't know, maybe Gemini, Aquarius. Not so stubborn though. More, I wouldn't say Libra because I don't think she's the type to lash out. I feel like it's Gemini. It's mutable energy. Even Sag maybe, because it's like wishy-washy. I have moments where I miss it and I have moments where the what ifs. I do feel like, because what I'm seeing is like there are movies that are really big hits that we love that we probably never heard of, but Ava turned the roll down is what I'm getting from this. So that Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it's like I had to say no to an opportunity for the sake of my marriage. And it doesn't give me the toxic vibe that I usually get where it's like my man said no, like when the Justin Timberlake reading I did. It's not giving me that. It's more like responsibilities, adult responsibilities, It's like I have 2 kids. I don't feel like she's the type, because like I'm seeing Jane the Virgin where the rich chick has nannies, and I'm not judging anybody who does anything anyway. As long as your kids turn out good, great. But I just feel like she's the type where it's like, I want to make memories with my children. I want them to see me as their mother. I don't want my kids thinking that. I think that she has a more maternal instinct than most of these people that we see. It's very much, I don't think that Hollywood could wreck her. You know what I mean? Again, it's just like, the cost of fame. I think her especially, she was able to just teeter on a line of like getting my work done and getting out. Like, I don't think she did. I would be shocked if she's in any pictures with any of these people that are going down now, because it's like I got my head down. I'm focused on work. I don't really care about the theatrics. I don't give a fuck if I'm on TMZ or any of that. I just care about my passion. It's, what, they're drawing me to Nicki Minaj and how she's more about her craft. That's kind of the same vibe that I'm getting from Ava. It's like I care about my craft. So I do think that's why she has moments where she's like, that movie did really well. Because like I'm seeing her and it's like box office sales and it's like, fuck, that could have been me. But then it's like I'm looking at my kids and it's like, that's the price to pay for being happy. You know what I mean? Very mature, very matter of fact, but it's just kind of like wishy-washy energy sometimes where it's like, that could have been me. Like I just, yeah. Page of Pentacles, yeah. In the reverse though. I think, see, this is why I'm having a hard time, because I can see her going one way where she retires early and does like mommy blogging or just something where it's like, another person that, I don't know, has like a lipstick company or something to like pay the bills, but we're out of the spotlight. But I feel like there's a part of her where it's like, but I'm fucking Eva Mendez. I don't want to be out of the spotlight. So I don't know what her story is currently, but I feel like she's going back and forth. That mutable energy is kind of taking a toll on her because it's like, should I go back? Should I create something? I don't really want to. I think she likes being idolized, but not in the way that she likes to be idolized because it's like, how do I word this, Spirit? Okay, so me, for instance, I like when people have nice things to say because I did the work. And so I appreciate that people see the work that I've done. Whereas someone like Taylor Swift, and I'm not dragging her, but someone like Taylor Swift, she doesn't really have a solid sense of self. And so for her, it's part of her identity. So when people say nice things, it's not even like she can't even really fully absorb it. It's like, I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more, so that I feel like I'm solid within myself. Eva feels solid in herself, period, despite the industry. So she doesn't need anybody to boost her ego. She does it on her own. She's very self-sufficient. So is Ryan. So it's like, I don't need people to worship me, but I miss being in the spotlight. It's a healthy way of looking at things. It's not I'm not A-list. I'm not being talked about. She don't give a fuck about that. It's just more like I miss the craft. I miss the passion. I miss acting. You know what I mean? It's very much, I love what I do. I don't care about the accolades that come with it. Does that make sense? Yeah, Seven of Wands. It's like, should I continue to be this, or should I lay down and move on with my life? Because I have obligations that are more important and more like children. Like children. Major thing about this. They're a very straightforward relationship. I think they knew that part of having a healthy relationship meant keeping it out of the spotlight. With that Judgment card in reverse, it's like, this relationship's going to take work. We're both going to fight for it. And if we keep it out of the public eye, we could probably make it work. I've never noticed the moon cutter on here. But again, remember how I was saying how I think they're both very emotional? I know they're water signs, so it kind of comes with it. But I just feel like they have arguments like your average relationship, but at the end of the day, they work it out because they know they want to make this relationship work. This is a healthy, God, I wish I had more readings like this. Like, this is why we did this for Friday. What about Ryan? Ryan feels like he's not even really you know what's funny is when I said that, I saw the meme, and I know they're not a healthy couple, but it's the meme and the picture that I'm talking about, where Will Smith like goes like this about Jada. You know what I mean? Where it's like, look at my wife. So I feel like Ryan does really adore his wife. Yeah, because like it's given me Obama when he does speeches and he's like, and Michelle this and Michelle that, and oh my God, I love Michelle and blah, 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 Michelle. I do feel like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song You'll Be in My Heart. Ryan loves Eva. You're not going to convince me that this is a bullshit relationship. I don't buy that at all. I think this is a very healthy relationship. I think they work on the things that matter. I think they know what matters, and they make sure that they prioritize that. This might be kind of boring for y'all. Oh, wait. Friction, isolation. Okay, what's this got to do with it? New opportunity. The world in reverse. Yeah, again, I feel like there's someone who, it feels more like Ava, where it's like, I don't know if I'm done. I don't know if I want to just hang up the I don't know, call it quits, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's like, I don't know that I want to give this up forever. And I do feel like there are people in the industry that are trying to coax her out. With that Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like, I think people want her. They're like, we know your star power. We want you in our movies. You're great. Like, that's kind of the vibe. I think that Ava gave up a lot for her family. And for her, with that Ten of Cups upright, it was like, it was a good choice. I'm glad that I did it. But again, I just think that she has moments where it's like, maybe I've lost out on some things. You know, that Ace of Pentacles is kind of yelling at me. I do feel like people are like, hey, Ava, before I try and, you know, hit up, I don't know, who would be, Spirit, give me someone that they would cast that's similar to Ava. I don't know why I'm seeing like J-Lo in my mind. I feel like because she's a pick-me. Allegedly, that's what everybody seems to be saying. If you guys want me to do a reading on her, because it seems like her career is going down the drain, let me know and I'll do a reading on that. but it feels like people call her up when they have something. It's almost like I see a network exec on the phone with Eva and being like, hey, before we start casting people, just to let you know, we got this role and we think you'd be perfect for it. And she's like, I don't know. Like, I have a family now. I wonder what her childhood was like. Did she have parents that like moved to America or maybe struggled with poverty? Because there's a really strong emphasis on family first. So it wouldn't surprise me if she had parents that like second generation or whatever that saying is. I'm sorry, I don't have that. I do have Spanish roots, but I don't have the family members to tell me anything about it. So it's kind of giving me like first or second generation kind of energy where it's like the family comes first. I think she was raised traditional where it's like love your husband, love your children, money comes and goes, very matter of fact. But there's some friction within her because it's like, did I throw away my career too soon? Is she not in the spotlight anymore? Because it's like, with that Hermit card, it's like, did I give it all away? Like, that's kind of the vibe here. I think there are some regrets, but again, it's like for the family. I think that's very instilled in her brain, for the family. But that World card in the reverse, that's a major arcana. So I don't know that she's necessarily done. We might see her come out with like one more thing or something because I just see her like it's an itch. It's like I got to scratch it. I miss. Yeah. If you're a creative, then you've got to understand it. Even me, like I can be burned out, but once I'm at like 30% capacity, I mean, I'm not at my best energy right now and I'm still reading, you know what I mean? So when you're a creative, it's kind of hard to just be like, I'm done creating. Like it's in your blood, you know what I mean? And it's in hers. So I just think, I don't know that we're done seeing her. I do think that she's been phased out because she focuses on family, but I don't know that we're necessarily done because I do see network executives trying to get her back. So she might do one last hurrah. She might do one last rom-com, one last movie, one last something. I just don't think she's done. I think there's an itch within her that she's got to channel it for something or else she's just not going to be happy. When a creative can't create, it's like a plant not getting water or a human not getting oxygen. Like she needs it. And I do think that there are people in the network that are still hitting her up to this day. They're like, I don't care. We got to try Ava. Maybe one day. It's kind of, you know what it's reminding me of? How like the war with Britney Spears and everything. And she's like, I'm never going back. But it's like, but girl, like that's your passion. Like eventually you're going to find a way to use it because it's what you do. So does that mean Ava's going to do movies again? I don't know. It's possible, but she's definitely going to have to find a way to channel her creative energy because she can't let it go. And I don't blame her. She shouldn't. What's the back deck? Yeah. She's not over it. This is more about Ava than Ryan. I'm sorry. I feel like Ryan's just kind of like, I feel like they're such a simple couple that there's really not much to pull on. The heartbreak involves work and not moving forward, stalled progress. And I feel like that's coming from her. Queen of Cups reverse, Ace of Swords is regrets, the Devil card disconnected. Remember how I was saying earlier that it felt like she teetered a line because she knew how the industry worked? That Devil card in reverse is also very telling with that Queen of Cups in reverse. It's like I've seen what they do to women. I've seen what they do to celebrities, period. I don't want to be a part of that. And I'm being drawn with that Ace of Swords is reminding me of the Page of Swords. So I just feel like this is a channeled message. I feel like they're trying to protect their kids because they also know what they do to child stars, kids in general. I'm noticing the youth in this face and the Ace of Swords. It's just like, I do feel like they want to protect their children from the industry, not raise them to be. It's not giving toddlers and tiaras. It's almost giving like, you'll never know I know we know their kids' names, but it's like, you'll never know too much. Like we're keeping our kids protected. We know how this shit works. So I do feel like they know how the industry works. I mean, once you're in it, you know, but I don't feel like they're a part of it. I feel like I swear to God, their energy is Joe Alwyn. I can't get him out of my mind's eye. It's Joe Alwyn. It's like, I'm going to work and then I'm going to leave. She wants to do the craft. She's like Nicki Minaj. It's like, I want to do my craft, but I don't care about the theatrics. I don't care about the tabloids. I don't give a shit about none of that. I just miss creating. So I do feel like Ava's going to find one way or another to be able to create again. I just don't know if the industry is going to be able to convince her. She's going to find a way to do this one way or another, whether that's launching like a lipstick brand. I could kind of see that. Maybe like a lipstick brand because for some reason I'm being drawn to her lips. So maybe she might come out with makeup or something like that, or maybe she'll do like Instagram lives or something. But I don't think you've seen the end of Ava, because I just don't. She doesn't. It's giving Brittany. It's like, I have to. This is who I am. It's instinctual. But with that Lovers card being the first card out, bro, this is the healthiest relationship I've yet to read. This and Zendaya and Tom. That's it. Like, that's it. But I'm going to end this by looking at Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, because I know there was a comment and a bunch of people liked it, but I'm almost wondering if that relationship is the reason that his relationship with Ava is now so private, because I feel like it was like a learning lesson for him. But we'll check it out. So as always, wow, look at this. The deck does not want to work with me. I feel like this, you know what? Yeah. Didn't it say that they fought a lot? I agree. I agree. I think, yeah, because you know what I'm seeing is two. I guess we're just going to start with the next part. So this is part 2 of the reading. We are going to take a look at Rachel and Ryan's breakup. But yeah, I see 2 bulls like bumping heads, which is giving me the vibe of like they're both 2 fixed signs. I just don't think either of them were willing to like be wrong, allegedly. But let's take a look at the Rachel and Ryan demise. It really feels like this is a relationship that made him realize what not to do. It's almost like, yeah, it's like what not to do. But anyway, thank you everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Like this video if you haven't already, if you're enjoying it, and subscribe if you're new here. We would love to have you. But I want to look at the reason that they broke up and if there was any cheating, because I guess you guys said there could have been cheating. So we'll take a look at that. If there was any overlap or anything like that. All alleged for entertainment purposes only. Refusal to change. Yeah, I felt that. Ace of Cups. Okay. Wish fulfillment. Oh, they fought. Oh, they fought. You know what's funny? Remember the scene in The Notebook where she was like being bratty and he was like, you're a bitch and I'm a dick or whatever. Like he said that. It's almost like, I think they even said this. I remember vaguely an interview about this, but their chemistry was so good because it's like a love to hate you kind of thing. It's like a love and hate. Honestly, yeah, because they're showing me a toxic situationship that I was in, where it's like the egos are just getting in the way. I mean, 2 fixed signs together, you're going to have to learn how to compromise. And I don't think either of them were willing to do that, if I'm being honest with you. I think there was a lot of love, a lot of passion. I think they somehow manifested each other. I really don't know where that's coming in, but for some reason, the moment I looked at 9 of Cups, I saw manifestation in my mind. So I don't know if either of them are into that or if maybe this was just actually supposed to be a relationship that they pre-agreed to. I don't mean in the scenes, I mean like soul contract. But their communication was trash. Oh my God. Here's the thing. I think they were both in different phases in their lives. Ryan has since grown up, but I feel like this was when Ryan had more of a fuckboy energy, for lack of a better term, or he just wasn't as mature. You know, he wasn't, I don't know how old he was back then, but obviously he was younger, right? Because that Knight of Swords in reverse is like, I'm quick with to fight. I'm quick to fight. And that Magician card in reverse, again, it's like bad communication. So because there was so much love and so much sexual chemistry, there was also so much fighting. So it's just like, it's kind of giving me Aries energy where it's like it burns hot and bright and then it burns out. So, and I also think at this stage, one of them had an avoidant attachment style with that 8 of Swords. It's kind of giving me the vibe of leave before you get left. So I think Ryan was a different person back then, because it almost feels like this feels more trauma bondy than it does anything else. It's more, yeah, this has to have been, if you're spiritual, this feels more like a soul contract, a karmic, because it feels like we're meant to teach each other what not to do. And I think that's why Ryan and Ava now have a very quiet relationship, because it's like, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, I'm your biggest fan, I'll follow you until you love me, Papa Paparazzi. And yeah, and I'm hearing, oh my God, what is that quote? Because all we lacked was presence. I feel like with this relationship, it was all passion, no logic, which is why I just keep being drawn to the scenes in the movie of The Notebook where like they fought really hard. That is literally how they were offset. Like that, how you saw them in The Notebook. The reason that movie did so well is because that is exactly what their relationship was like. Not to say that, Nicholas Sparks' movie wouldn't have done well with other people, but the reason you were so emotionally invested to The Notebook is because that is exactly how their chemistry was. Like, that was not a lie to who they were. It's like, love you so much, but ooh, so triggering. Think about a Scorpio, right? Kind of gives like all water sign energy where it's like I have a lot of love to give, but you also have to work for it. When you're a Scorpio, you hide a lot of that shit. And so I think both of them were going at this with like, I need to keep myself protected, but I'm also emotionally invested. And so I'm getting triggered, but I'm in love with you. And I think they were both enamored with each other is the vibe. It's like, you're everything I could have asked for. But then it's like, ooh, you're hitting wounds that I don't like. And ooh, I'm getting triggered. It's almost like, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is the movie, oh my God, where Dane Cook and like he helps women get to their forever homes, basically. I forget what the name of the movie is called. That's kind of the vibe of this. It's like, I feel like they were meant to trigger each other so that they could do it right with whoever they're meant to be with. Because they weren't meant to be with each other. And the reason that, no, it's just an add-on, is we just got to see such a powerful movie through it because we saw their real emotions through the movie. Yeah, the ego was a big one for both of them. Intuition. Who said who broke up with who? Because I don't think Ryan broke up with Rachel. I think Rachel broke up with Ryan. I think it was an ego versus ego thing. Both of them really loved the spotlight back in this era. I think Ryan still kind of loves the spotlight. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he wants to hang up, and I feel like that's why Eva's getting the itch. But I feel like, yeah, because this kind of, oops, sorry, y'all. This kind of looks like Rachel a little bit with that hair. But I feel like she intuitively knew she had to cut it off because it's like our egos are just, it's just like, I just keep seeing two bulls in my mind's eye, like bumping heads. It's like there's not enough room through the door for both of their egos together. And that was just a main component to the demise. I'm not seeing anything about cheating yet, just so we're clear. Yeah, 8 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like, allegedly, Rachel broke up with Ryan because it's like, this is affecting my work. This is making me miserable. This is making me miserable now. It's time to let go. With that two of Swords, it's like, I'm not being ignorant anymore. Even though this is a hard choice to make, I love you, but I love myself more. So I think that Rachel eventually got tired of the fighting and she was like, I'm done. And I almost see this being like this was really fueled. And so they had a really ugly breakup. And then Ryan probably had to lick his wounds. And then he realized that he didn't want chaos anymore. And I feel like Ava's a more grounding presence. So I'm kind of seeing how he ended up with Ava after. It makes a lot of sense. I think that Ava's more, I would describe Ava as a more of a Hailey Bieber energy, whereas Rachel is more of a Selena energy, but I mean more in terms of like emotions. Like Selena's a Cancer, she's emotional, whereas Hailey is a Sagittarius. She's more like, let's do things, So I feel like Ava's a more grounded presence. I feel like Rachel, yeah, I see two jellyfish in my mind's eye. It's like we're getting too swept up in each other. We're not seeing where I begin and you end. It's just like we're enamored. It's like it's a suffocation. Yeah, she cut him off allegedly. Yeah, I'm hearing the song Ain't Got No Tears Left to Cry. Look at all this justice card, and then the King of Swords with the justice on it. Yeah, and this is cutting off from him because remember she showed up as a Queen of Swords. I don't think he disagreed with her decision. I think he was bummed out, but at the same time, it was like, you're right. Like, we're not good together. But I do feel like Rachel feels a little slighted, or at least in this time period she did, because I'm hearing the song, I'm way too good to you. You take my love for granted. I just don't understand it. I don't know how to talk to you. I definitely think there was a communication barrier, especially with them both coming out as air signs. I think the only time that they were logical with each other was when it was time to call it quits. Is like, dude, we're causing each other more harm than good. You ever like burn a relationship into the ground so bad where it's like, we're getting to a point where we hate each other, so we need to let go? It's kind of that vibe. Like, Spirit's showing me a lot of toxic relationships I've seen in my day, and it's reminding me a lot of that, where it's like we love each other so much that we're kind of hurting each other, and so it's like we need to let each other go. Yeah, 2 of Cups in there. It's like it's like I'm psychic. It's like I'm not talking out of my ass sometimes. Crazy, right? Like, yeah, it's like even though we put in all this time, so 2 years, that's still a solid amount of time. Even though we put in all this time, even though we have so much love for each other, I'm being drawn to the crack on the egg. No matter what we do, we break. No matter what we do, we hurt each other. No matter what we do, it's like you're touching the part of me that I want to be seen, but at the same time, it triggers me, and so I lash out. I think this is at a point in time where Ryan was emotionally avoidant, so Rachel was more than likely anxiously attached, because you're not going to attract a healthy relationship with an unhealthy part. Like, that doesn't happen. So I think Ryan Gosling was more, I think this was meant to teach him. And I think for Rachel, I don't know. Like, she's not really, I feel like I'm just getting a theme here. Basically of what not to do. Yeah, Queen of Wands in the reverse. Happiness. You're not bringing me happiness anymore. Knight of Wands. Yeah, till I realized I'm just too much for you. Yeah, I feel like Rachel was like, you're childish. You're not growing up. I wonder if that's why he got his shit together with Ava. You know what? Yeah, because I'm seeing Rachel. Yo, a little bit of tea. I feel like Rachel's bitter. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Or at least she was. She might not be anymore. It's possible. What do I know? I'm just, a psychic. But I have no facts here. But I just see Rachel being like, she got the man that I've been asking him to be. Like, that's kind of the vibe. It's like, why were you so childish when we were together? Your ego got the best of you, and all we ever did was fight, and now you're with somebody else and you're being everything that I asked you to be. Why was it so hard? I feel like it was meant to trigger her. Does Rachel have, like, do we know anything about Rachel McAdams? Does she have a daddy wound or something like that? Was her dad not around, or was her dad just, I don't know, because this reminds me of someone with a daddy wound where it's like, I'm trying to make this man into something that he's not. But unfortunately, again, it's just like they weren't meant to be together. So they were meant to trigger each other so that he could figure his shit out. She could figure out her shit and then end up with the right person. Yeah. And then 4141 on my clock, which is 5-5, which is change. So they were meant to change each other. Yeah. I think she suffered for a little while. What? Could there have been an overlap? Because this is communication. 5 of Swords is like, I don't want to fight anymore. And then the 5 of Cups in the reverse is like, for me right now in that card energy, it's like, I don't want to grieve you yet. Okay. I don't know anything about, because I remember the comment said something like, did he cheat with Rachel McAdams or something like that? Listen, I don't know if he cheated, but it does kind of feel like at the end of the relationship and towards the beginning of his new one with Ava, she wanted to talk to him. So did she reach out? Remember how I said 5s? And then look, these are 5s. So I feel like when the relationship broke down, she might have reached out, allegedly. Hold on, let me pull more cards. Not naive anymore. Juggling, starting over. I think this made Rachel McAdams all sorts of fucked up, allegedly. Emotionally. Not like a bad person. Did he cheat? I don't think that he cheated on Rachel. I think that Rachel broke up with him. I feel like she regretted it because, again, there was a lot of emotion. They loved each other, but they were also not ready for that type of love. I almost feel like she either did reach out to him or she wanted to, because that Page of Swords is screaming at me reaching out on social media. Like, it's really yelling at me. Like, I can't get it out of my head. That Page of Swords is reminding me of communication over the internet. So is it possible that Rachel reached out to Ryan while he started dating Ava? I don't know, y'all. I don't really see anything anywhere about anybody cheating. I don't think Ryan is really the cheating type. I think he's the passionate type, to be honest with you. It kind of, yeah, because you know what I'm seeing is those, I'm going to butcher this, but I love going to pet stores. The thing that sticks on the rock and, like, it sucks to the rock. Like, I feel like that's how, like in an aquatic thing. I'm so sorry, y'all. Mercury is killing me. Yeah, I think after the breakup, it was just like, is what it is. Got to start over. Can't be naive anymore. But I think it took a hit to her confidence. Like, what happened to her after that? Was she ever in anything important? Yes, she was. That's such a lie. I've seen them. That's a lie. But it's more like, I gotta start over. I gotta keep moving on. I do think that this kind of shattered Rachel a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's just like, I can't be naive anymore. This is what it is. And I think that it kind of fucked up her ability to love herself a little bit. I think she took it personally. I almost see her being like, what's wrong with me? Again, because I just see her. I don't know if she was necessarily. It doesn't feel like there's a crossover. It really doesn't. I know this is a weird example, but Spirit for some reason is showing me those rods where like people can pick up on spirit with. Apparently, I've never tried, but they're showing me like they're not touching. So I don't feel like there's a crossover. I don't feel like anything was done wrong. If anything, I feel like maybe after the breakup, she might have reached out to Ryan. Yeah, because I just keep hearing the song, Can We Just Talk Before We Get Lost? So it's giving me the vibe of like, she might have had moments of weakness where she reached out to try and maybe see where it's giving me the vibe of the ex that hits you up every once in a while to see what you're doing. I think in the end stages, it's just giving me the vibe of like, I don't want to lose you, but I also know I need to lose you. But it's wishy-washy. Like, it's mutable energy. I don't know. But, yeah. Poor Rachel. This is sad. I really think that her seeing him with Ava and doing everything she asked for really fucked her up. I'm going to be honest. Because it's like, why wasn't I good enough for that? But I do feel like they were both meant to trigger each other to learn something from each other. I think Ryan was meant to learn how to be more of an adult. And I feel like Rachel was meant to learn her own worth and maybe kind of where she sleeps on herself for men to be happy and comfortable. But I think after that, she just kind of focused more on her money. I think this relationship really devastated her. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I think after this, it really did she have like because this feels like I'm gonna focus on money. I'm gonna focus on my accomplishments, what I can build for myself. I think did she take a break from dating? Did she not date for a little while? Because it's just like I don't want to get into something like that again. I just need to be focused on myself for right now. Yeah, King of Cups reversed. The Tower. I just think this broke her. Three of Cups kind of reminds me of gossiping. Yeah, I feel like she feels that the Ryan that Ava got is not the Ryan that she got. It's like with me, you were a little volatile, you were kind of childish, we were emotionally charged all the time, but then like you'd get upset and then you'd detach and then you were, yeah, because I keep hearing the song Hot and Cold. So it's like, I mean, I can relate. You ever been a petty Betty and you see your ex end up with somebody else and you're like, how? Like, first of all, there's no way you grew. But in this case, I do feel that Ryan did grow. But I just poor Rachel. That's all I can say is just poor Rachel. Because I just feel like she lost herself a little bit. But sometimes you have to lose yourself to find yourself. Yeah, lost yourself and I dropped the 5 of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? Yeah. 3 of 1. Oh. No, this is more about when she saw them together. It's more like, I guess it's done. I guess that's it. I guess we're never. I almost wonder if Rachel thought they'd get back together in time. It's kind of the energy that I'm feeling where it's like, it's reminding me of like, we have all this passion. There's no way it's over forever. So I almost wonder if she cut it off because like, this is toxic. I can't do this. You're immature. But she had this kind of like feeling in her, like, but surely this will work out, you know? It's kind of giving me the vibe of like letting someone go in hopes that they'll find them. I've done this before, but then you end up moving on. Like most people do. But it's giving me the vibe of like, maybe if I let you go, you'll come back to me when you're ready type of energy. But I think she very quickly realized like, oh no, that conflict between us, all that hot energy was for nothing. Yeah, and now I'm stuck. So I'm gonna focus on my money. Yeah, and then just restructuring for her. I feel like Rachel really lost herself for a little bit because of this. It really took a hit on her self-esteem, which is wild because that woman is, oh my God, first of all, beautiful, but then the part gay in me is also like, damn. But anyway, like, yeah, I do. I feel like she has moments where she thinks back to him. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song Something Always Brings Me Back to You. It never takes too long. Oh. No matter what I say or do, I still feel you here till the moment I'm gone. Dude, I feel like Rachel kind of looks at him as the one that gone away. I didn't say that, but I did. I did. Ace of Swords, it's like, ugh. Well, yeah, because now I'm hearing Rascal Flatts and never knowing what could have been and not seeing that loving you is what I was trying to do. That Queen of Cups upright. I was just trying to love you. But our communication, it ruined us. I feel like Rachel thought it was going to be her happily ever after. This sucks. That's a bummer. Yeah, and so she channeled that into her stardom instead. That's why that's part of one of the many reasons she's such a great actress, because all of the pain that came with feeling like he didn't see her. He didn't understand her. The problem is they were all emotion and they weren't willing to be vulnerable in order to make it work. You can love somebody, but love isn't enough. And I feel like the love triggered both of them. Like, I just keep seeing the scenes from The Notebook where they're fighting so much because they love each other. It's the exact same thing in their real life. That's why the movie's so damn good. It's because they were literally channeling how they felt about each other. That is exactly how their relationship was. The Notebook almost feels like a true life story. Like, you know how like MTV True Life? Like, that's how this feels. If you're around for that. But Hermit, out of my comfort zone, 9 of Swords, struggling, anxious thoughts, can't sleep, the Star. I'm going to use this to fuel my career. Yeah. Tension, stability. 6 of Swords, I can't move on. So what can I do? I can use it to inspire myself. It's giving Taylor Swift when I ruin another relationship, I'm going to put out a banger album. Like, that's the vibe. That's how Rachel channeled the end of this relationship. It was like, well, I'm heartbroken and there's nothing I can do about it. And I got to watch him date somebody else. And he's being the man that I always wanted him to be. But the least I can do is make a name for myself. And I think that's why she like channeled her energy into movies and stuff like that, whatever it is that she's doing. Because it was like, this is too much pain for me. I need a break. I need to focus on my career. So I don't know if she dated anybody. If she dated anyone right after she broke up with Ryan, you're not going to convince me that it was an emotionally... Yeah, this feels like someone who needed a couple of years to recenter herself. So did she take a hiatus from dating? Because if she dated someone after Ryan, I'm telling you, it was just something to do. Like, there's no way this girl was ready for any form of a relationship because it completely shattered her. It's like, because you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is Monsters, Inc. with the little girl who's like, love me. But I mean, she doesn't say love me, but it's kind of giving that energy because she goes like this to the bear monster guy, whatever the hell, sorry. That's kind of the energy. It's like, I'm showing you myself. Why won't you love me? And I just think that in this stage of Ryan's life, he just wasn't ready to be that type of man for her. And I think it really just kind of devastated her. And it made her pour into her work instead of relationships. I think it's giving me a vibe of like, you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like gymnastics, that thing where you can bounce on it and it flips you forward. It's kind of giving me the vibe of like, I needed time to bounce back. That's kind of the energy that I feel with this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this 2-parter. Like this video if you did. Subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you. I just left this out because people asked me about this deck because it's gorgeous. Again, I always put the links in the description, so if you're interested in this, I love this deck. It's absolutely stunning. But yeah, I think Ryan learned his lesson with this relationship of letting emotions overrule everything, not being the best idea. And I think that he moved smart moving forward. And now he's in a healthy relationship. Rachel took an emotional beating, unfortunately, but I think her channeling it into her career made her some banger roles. And I think, you know, she worked out of it. I think for her, she has moments where it's like he's the one that got away. But what I see is like with time, it's like they grow, they grow, they grow. So she looks back and it's like, you're not even the guy that I remembered. So I don't feel like it's anything where anyone has to worry. Ava doesn't have to worry about Rachel being into him like that. It's more of like a what could have been. But there's just too much time and too much change. We're different people now. It's kind of the energy that I'm feeling. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you did in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys want to see in future videos. Like I said, I had to take a break from Quiet on Set series because that was really kicking my ass. But as always, it's all legend for entertainment purposes only. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you could book it on my website. The link is in the description box below. It takes up to 3 weeks. Please be patient with me. You want a good reading, not a rushed one. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Love you to my regulars. Love you, besties. See you next time. Bye-bye.